While everyone else is out shopping this Black Friday, I'm using this quiet time to do something different. A brain dump to figure out what actually needs to happen in the next 5 weeks. Let me show you what I mean. Hi, I'm Connie and welcome to Making All the Plans. It's Black Friday and I'm using this morning, while the house is quiet and before the weekend gets busy, to get everything out of my head and plan for what's coming. We're headed into the busiest time of year. Thanksgiving just happened, December is right around the corner, the holidays are coming fast. And if I don't get clear on what needs to happen, I'm going to end up stressed and overwhelmed. So today, I'm doing a brain dump. What actually needs to happen between now and the end of the year? What matters, and what can I let go of? If you're feeling the holiday pressure starting to build, grab a notebook and do this with me. This is about getting clarity before the chaos hits. So, I have a few things sitting in front of me, and let me tell you why. I am just going to start in a notebook. I'm not going to write anything pretty or worry about categories or lists or anything like that. I'm just going to find the first set of blank pages in my notebook. And I'm going to start writing. I will flip through my daily planner and my weekly planner and make sure that I haven't missed anything that I didn't complete in the last few weeks. So today we're going to just do the brain dumping part. Tomorrow, come back and we will categorize and figure out how to pick our top tasks for the next week. But I'm going to write everything that's on my mind, everything that needs to happen, everything I'm worried about, everything I'm excited about. No organizing, just getting it out. And I'm going to do this in realish time with you. I will speed it up just a little bit because I am a slow writer, but I want you to see exactly what this looks like and hopefully do it with me. So it's not the perfect color-coded version, but it's the messy real life version. Let's get started. So I'm going to start by writing in a header just so that in the future, if I'm flipping through, I kind of have a reference for when I wrote this out beyond where it falls in the notebook. This is pretty much just a scratch notebook. I use it for roughly drawing out plans, scribbling down any notes. I refer to it frequently as my cheapest planner, but it is just a blank notebook where I can write anything. I don't have to worry about neatness. I do have 4 of them lying around right now, 2 old ones that are full, this current one, and then one that is empty for when this one does get full. But I like to stock up on them at back to school time because they're normally a little bit more affordable. Sometimes these grid notebooks can cost a little bit more, so I like to get them when they're on sale. The first thing that I'm going to do as I start my brain dump is just get everything that's on the top of my head down on paper because I'm afraid that if I don't write those things down first, then I'll forget to write them down completely. These are things that may not necessarily be on a different list somewhere that I can copy over. So I just want to make sure that I get those things down. That includes things like a baking plan, the gift exchange plan for my family, getting my kids' Christmas wish lists, and then also checking to see if any of those items are on Black Friday deals. Any of the things that I actually want to buy are on Black Friday deals. And then I will move into writing down Christmas decorations. So I just kind of flow into wherever my brain is leading me. That's what I'm writing down right now. So I'm going to start by writing down all the decor that I want to get put up. The first is the great room tree. And as I'm thinking about the great room tree, it sparks me thinking about the garland in the great room. But then there's also garland on the stairs in the loft that need to go up. But in order to put the great room tree up and the garland up, we need to rearrange the room. And then I remember that we also need to rearrange the living room because we have another sideboard that needs to be put together. So I'm going to write down, put together the sideboard and rearrange the dining room. And once that sideboard is put together, there won't be room for the wine rack that we have. And so then I have to move the wine into the sideboard or somewhere else. So it's kind of a domino effect. And I just continue to write all those things down. I'm not thinking about when they're getting done, what order they need to get done in, just that they need to get done. And as I'm visualizing the dining room, I'm thinking, what else needs to be done in there to make it clean and a little more relaxing? And the cushions need to go downstairs. There's some storage bins that are sitting there that need to go downstairs. There's some donations that need to happen. So I'm just going to continue to write out all of those things and continue to walk through the house. And now I'll put on a little music so that you have a chance to do a little brain dumping as well. Feel free to use my list to inspire you or do your own walkthrough of your house. You don't necessarily have to sit at your desk to do your brain dump. The only reason I'm sitting at my desk is to make it easier to record, but you could literally walk through your house and put this list together if it's easier. If you are getting stuck, it is great to get up and walk around and look around your space. You might have piles of things that need to be tended to. You can look at that pile and you might know that you need to do your bills and your mail. Or you may look at the pile and know that in that pile there is a permission slip that needs signed or the lawn care bill needs paid. However, if you look at the pile and you think, I have no idea what is in that pile, I'm going to go through that pile now. Don't do that. It is not time to go down that rabbit hole just yet. Instead, what I want you to do is write down that you need to tend to the pile. If it's a pile of paperwork on your brain dump, you could write sort pile of paperwork into trash, shred, and action piles. And if it's a really big pile, I would write more items down. I would write deal with the trash pile, deal with the shred pile, and deal with the action pile. My brain dump is a living, breathing document. So if I come across something that needs to be added to my brain dump, I go ahead and add those things. So if I had a stack of action items, I would go ahead and add each one of those to my list. Okay, so this is literally everything that's just at the top of my head and doing kind of a virtual walkthrough of our house in my mind. And it's a little overwhelming and it's a little scary, but I am going to keep going. The next thing that I want to do is go through my Hobonichi cousin and my planner and write any tasks down that I have wanted to complete and that I still need to complete but haven't from those books onto this page. And I agree, this is overwhelming. It is a lot to look at, but if I don't have everything down on my list, I tend to forget to do the tasks that are the most important. So if I write out everything, I am able to prioritize those items that need attention first. So trust the process. However, if you feel like you're done, go ahead and walk away from the brain dump for a little bit. You can come back later if you think of anything, or if you really have finished getting everything out on paper. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about what to do next, how to deal with that feeling of overwhelm. So, if you've gathered all of your notebooks, all your post it notes, all the little things that you have in your purse to remind you of things, gather that all up, add that all to this list, and I'm going to play a little bit more music and we'll come back and wrap up. I did want to mention that a little bit ago, I did brain dump a bunch of tasks that needed to be completed for the basement, and for some reason, it's just not sitting right with me. So I'm going to ignore that area for right now, and I'm going to redo a brain dump on the basement area. I think I need to think of that space a little bit differently and break down the tasks a little bit differently than I have previously thought about them. And yes, I'm turning the page to start a second sheet. I do want to mention the things that I am leaving off of this page. I know that I did not get to some things outside that I would have liked to get to, like repainting the barn, staining the ramp to the barn, doing other paint touch-ups around the house, finish pressure washing the exterior of the house. All of those things I can't do right now. It's too cold. The weather has turned. I know that I am not going back outside to do any more projects. I have buttoned up the outside of the house as much as it's getting done this year. So I'm going to let myself off the hook for all of those tasks for right now. I know that they still need to be done. I know that they're always nagging me. If they are rolling around in the back of your head and you cannot get them off your brain, or you're afraid you're going to forget about them come springtime, you can go ahead and add them to your brain dump list. However, I would kind of put them off to the side and make like a parking lot or a backlog area for those items. Beyond that distinction, as of now, I am just writing everything else down on my list that I can think of. And now, back to the brain dump.
Up until now, I've just been making one long list of all the items. But now that I'm getting to a few items that don't really fit in with the types of tasks that I've been writing down so far, I am going to write them at the very bottom of this page so that they don't get mixed in with other things. These items are two passion development courses or training type things that I would like to do. And if I have time in December, I would love to get them started. I also don't want to forget about them. The first is the Growth Collective with exclusively Cindy, and the second is a free course from Caleb Ralston called How to Build a Personal Brand. This will be a big focus come the new year, but again, if I do have time in December, I would like to go ahead and dive into these things. Apparently, I'm not very good at checking things off of my lists. They do get done, but I'm not very good about going back and actually checking them off. And I debated about checking them off now, but I won't go back to this list now that I'm going to start a new list. Once I do a new list, I trust myself that I have moved everything forward that needs to be moved forward, and I do not go back and look at those lists unless I'm just looking for inspiration of some sort. And here's where I am making a decision about the basement and not copying this list the way it is currently. Instead, I'm going to write on my list to take inventory of the basement and spend time in the basement. So that just means go downstairs, sit in the basement, write down the things, look at the things. Don't start sorting yet. I know that it gets very overwhelming if I just go down and get started, and sometimes I end up making a bigger mess than I end up fixing. So now I've gotten everything moved over from my planner and my Hobonichi cousin. The next thing I'm going to do is pull up Notion on my computer, which is sitting to the right-hand side of me, and I'm going to pull up my content calendar so I know those tasks that need to be done for making all the plans. The first thing I'm going to do is write out the micro tasks of each recording that I want to get up, of those items that need to go up between now and Sunday. That includes tomorrow's video, which is overcoming brain dump overwhelm. The next is my weekly, which I will go through and talk about how to pull items from this list and incorporate them into your weekly plan. My goal is to tie this all together so I don't just leave you with one long list of tasks that need to be completed. Then on the right-hand side, I am just going to write the titles or the themes of all the videos that I want to put out for the rest of the year. As I think of other items that need to be done either in order to get ready to do a video or just to do for my channel in general, I will go ahead and put those in the left column just so that I don't confuse them with the videos that need to be recorded. The biggest one is to decide on my 2026 planners. I keep going back and forth. I will talk about that in an upcoming video, but I do need to make that decision and order anything else that I need to in order to put my plan together so that I am ready to record those videos when it's time. If you don't have a YouTube channel, what are those extra items that you need to add? Do you want to do a work brain dump as well? Do you have a hobby or something that you want to put some attention towards? I will mention that I do my work brain dumping separately just because I like to keep all of that information a little bit hidden from the YouTube camera. But I go through the same process for my work tasks as I do for my home tasks. So here's my completed brain dump all in one space. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I don't know about you, but it is all out on paper.
Okay, so that's everything that was in my head. And honestly, I feel so much better just having written it all down. Now, if you're looking at your brain dump and feeling more overwhelmed instead of less, that's totally normal. That's actually what we're going to tackle in the next video, overcoming brain dump overwhelm, because getting it out of your head is step one. But then you need to know what to do with it. How do you take this giant, messy list and turn it into an actual plan? How do you prioritize? How do you know what matters and what doesn't? That's what we're going to cover next. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that video. I'm going to walk you through my exact process for taking this overwhelming brain dump and turning it into a manageable action plan. But for today, I just want you to appreciate that you did the work. You got it out of your head, you have clarity on what's ahead, and that's going to make the next 5 weeks so much smoother. Drop a comment and let me know, did you do a brain dump with me? What surprised you about what came out? I'd love to hear what's on your mind as we head into the holiday season. If this helped, hit that like button and subscribe for more realistic planning content, and I'll see you in the next video where we tackle that overwhelm together. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.